My man said I have to prove myself for me to be a stay-at-home mom one day. I told my boyfriend that ultimately I want to get married and have 1 or 2 babies and that I would like to be able to be a stay-at-home mom at least until they go to school. He said I need to prove myself before this happens, and he does not have confidence in my ability to keep the house perfect, as in cleanliness and organizational wise, because the house is messy. Not filthy or disguising. But currently I'm working and it is impossible for me to keep the house perfect unless I were to have absolutely no downtime because I do all the cleaning by myself. Tell him he needs to prove himself as a provider and support you while you prove that you can maintain the house full time. This is coming from a guy. Run. Run fast. Get away from this guy. He isn't helping clean now and is setting up conditions on if you marry, if you have children, and if you stay at home. Unattainable conditions. Ask anyone who has raised a child. It is hard work and it gets messy. Especially once they are walking, because they get into stuff and get dirty and are a job just chasing them around. Perfect house ain't happening. He is either on the low end of the intelligence quotient or a controlling boss. But with this attitude he is not marriage material. Marriage needs to be a 50-50 partnership. This guy isn't it. Oh boy. Is he setting you up? So he is the one that decides what perfect is. He's just straight up the judge and he sits on the sidelines and determines your worthiness? I hope you take a deep breath and seriously see what he is doing to you. What does he do to make your home life work? What daily tasks and how many hours does he devote to them? Excited for your answers. Tell this dude that he needs to prove himself as a loving, understanding provider. Oops. He's already failed. Anyone with any sense knows there is no such thing as a perfect house. Especially with children. Kick this guy to the curb and get yourself a man who will love you for you and not for a maid. Red flag after red flag. He's proving himself to be in a shoal. What he said was controlling and manipulative. I am a Psalm. There is not way to have the house be perfect once you have the baby. Sometimes even before. You will be busy with the baby like all day. I would seriously reconsider having babies with this guy. Sounds like he wouldn't want to help you with the baby when he gets home cause he was at work all day, face with rolling eyes. That sounds toxic AF. Toxic, immature. Regardless of you working or staying home with kids, it's super important to have equal rest. Google that term. Tell him he doesn't have to worry about it because it won't be with him. Yikes. This sounds like my ex-husband and I missed the flags at the moment. After 2 years of living together I approached the marriage topic and he said, when you prove to do better at switching off the lights and not leaving a dish in the sink. I was about to leave that relationship when I found myself pregnant and got married. When I had the baby I told him that while I was career-oriented, I found it hard to go back to work soon. We both made good money and I wanted to take a couple years off. His reply, if I ever knew you had no ambition and your aspiration was to be a stay-at-home mom, I wouldn't have gotten with you. I divorced him later and it was one of the hardest things I've done. Especially since we had our son who was only 2. Guess what? He was controlling in other ways too, and it wasn't a partnership. More like his way or the highway. I took the high road and he begged me to stay. Showed his most vulnerability by even crying and finally wanting to go to therapy, but it was late. I did not believe a narcissist could change. I am about to marry for the second time to someone who isn't trying to change me or improve me, and really makes me feel like best version of myself. My happiness is a bit tainted, wishing it wasn't my second wedding. Wishing I would have seen the signs earlier and made better decisions. But I have my son. So no regrets. But you have the chance to avoid a lot of things. Think it through. He doesn't sound like a guy you should have kids with. Nip this expectation in the bud. With any guy, a stay-at-home mom's job is looking after the kid. They are a full-time, 24-hour job, and it's just not realistic for a partner to expect you to keep the house perfectly clean and organized when almost all your time will be taken up with your children. You're not home all day, having leisure time as a som. You're working a job. If your partner wants the home cleaner, it's time for him to pick up more cleaning duties. Wow, he sounds like a catch. It's rare that I read a post in this sub with no red flags. This isn't one of them. Okay, hold up. Stay-at-home mom here. Our job is not to keep the house perfect, LMAO. Raising kids is a full-time job. And they're fucking messy. And the man is messy. And it piles up fast. Every single day. I cook dinner. I clean up when I can at the end of the night, but there are days, weeks when I gotta give it up for a minute. My fiancé picks up the slack. He does the dishes when I ask if I'm too tired. He'll clean the house to make me feel relaxed. He appreciates everything I do and everything I've sacrificed to live a life inside these four walls. With a child. Now 2 children. And it's still very much a partnership. Your BF friend has a twisted view on what being a stay-at-home mom is. Hopefully he'll grow up. Coming from someone that stays at home, he's not respecting you. Oh, he's one of those. He's one of those guys that thinks being a stay-at-home mom isn't a job in itself. He's probably also going to expect you to do any heavy lifting with the kids, diaper changes, etc. Even when he's home. You're not a maid. Being a stay-at-home mom, you still share responsibilities with your partner. Don't marry him. What? Please inform your DBBF that Stepford Wives was a movie and is not real life. A house should never be perfect. I had a magnet. Boring people have immaculate homes. Direct dig at Mill. This guy does not love you. He's setting you up so you start obsessing over making your home perfect. So he doesn't have to lift a finger. A som is one of the hardest jobs out there. There is no day off. Plus you have a pompous doofus expecting your home to be perfect while raising children. Please think long and hard about continuing this relationship even another day. He is primed to abuse you and control you completely. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm not a maid. My role is to care for the toddlers, and so we aren't having to pay for someone else to watch our kids. My husband wouldn't dare comment on the state of the house. Housewives with small kids don't have perfectly clean houses. That's not how kids work.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.